Hey guys, Mist here, and this is gonna be like a chat and chill drawing video. Me talking about the Netflix adaptation for Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I have a lot of thoughts. Some I might not be able to get into because my mind's gonna be all over the place, so I'm just gonna make this up as I go, if that makes sense. So, if you don't know about me, aside from me liking Sonic, Evanescence, Dragon Ball, basically anime in general, I grew up watching Avatar: The Last Airbender as a kid growing up. And if you aren't familiar with the animated series, I recommend watching the animated show, not the live action, because it's not perfect, but there's a lot of layers in terms of its writing that feels so disjointed at best. And there's some things that I did like, some parts that I didn't like, even with the characters and whatnot. And the original creators leaving is like, this isn't gonna be. It's definitely not gonna be like the animated series that I remember because at this point in time, I'm at that point in my life where I understand not everything's it's not I understand not everything's gonna be made for one to one into a live action real life adaptation. I understand that. But it's there has to be a limit to where you take certain stuff, rearranging stuff, changing characters' motivations to a point where it just feels stale and boring. And when you watch it, you're gonna feel like something's missing. First and foremost, I am not gonna be blaming the actors for their performances. I think, personally, in my opinion, I think the actors did the best on what they were given. So I am not gonna be pointing fingers at the actors on XYZ stuff. But as for the directors and the writers, I am pointing the fingers at them because it's like they took the it's like they saw the original series, try to add some stuff, and just thinking that might make sense, quote unquote. But again, there's some layers of this show going to season one and two just makes no freaking sense. Like, all they had to do was to look at the source material and expand upon what wasn't there from the original series. And in hindsight, they kind of did that. But like I said from earlier, everything just feels so disjointed to where there's a lot going on and you try to keep up and it just feels like a mess. The only few characters that I think they got right in season two is Sokka, Toph, and Zuko somewhat because like I'm just gonna say this right now. Aang in season two was just so mean for no apparent reason, even towards Katara. After finding out that she's been sneaking out doing XYZ stuff as the Painted Lady, which should have been a season three thing, but okay. But like you would think he would show some form of empathy towards Katara, despite after losing Appa and all that stuff, getting frustrated, basic stuff. And like I said, he was just so mean to her for, like I said, for no apparent reason. Even I think in episode five in season two, where he was just chatting with Appa, I think, where he was like, "Why am I being so mean to Katara? Where I should be more nice to her." Up until a few scenes later, after that, he's just being mean to Katara again. It was like, "You don't care," all that stuff. It just feels so disingenuous to me, in my opinion. And again, it's not the actor's fault, it's the director and that sorry excuse of a script. And speaking of Appa, he feels more like a vehicle rather than a team member slash family member of Team Avatar. Well, yes, the family dynamics for Team Avatar is a lot better, but again, we don't see them interacting with Appa as much, which kind of feels weird to me, but I get it. Money constraints, CGI, budgets, whatever, but at the same time, Appa, like they just keep continuing with this trend on the tell don't show. Like the show is not really confident enough to let the viewer figure it out on their own. They just tell you things rather than just show it. That's the problem that's going on, that's been happening since season one. They just tell you things, but they don't show it. Like, what the heck, writers? Also, when Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph were arguing, it felt like it was just forced in there out of nowhere. Like the writers have to add more drama between the group, which I'm not saying in the original series where the gang had arguments before, but but it's just like here, it just feels so forced. But compared to the original, it just feels like yeah, friends fight, which is apparent. But again, it just feels forced in the live action version. Live action Azula to me is like she feels like Azula, she sounds like Azula, but half the time when I see her, I rarely take her seriously, if I'm being honest. Which I'm not blaming the actress for her performance, but again, it's just like the acting in this adaptation overall just feels like it's there, but not really. It's just like look, these actors deserve so much better. They deserve better acting directors for this adaptation because half the time where or it everything just feels so stiff. Like they're not allowed to show more emotions with their facial expressions. So that's how I feel on that department. Also, on another note, can we please stop making villains overly sympathetic? Like, can we just let villains be villains? Because they are trying to humanize Firelord Ozai so deeply in this adaptation, which I don't really understand and what we're doing here. Like, let's just face facts. Ozai is a manipulative abuser who, from outside looking in, even watching the original series, he does not care about Zuko at all. Like, even with her relationship with Zula, he praises her plans on taking over the Earth Kingdom, etc. But with him and Zuko, when with the Agni Kai situation, things been changed around with that storyline back in season one, which I find that kind of stupid, in my opinion. But again, can we please stop making villains overly sympathetic to justify their XYZ actions? In the season two finale, where Aang powers up to the Avatar state, where he wrecks the Daily, wrecks Azula, where he literally was about to kill Azula and never kills her, and only for him to be self being wide open, just get shot in the chest, which is stupid to me. If you like this adaptation of Avatar, that's fine. But at the same time, the writing just feels so disjointed. And my advice, go watch the original animated series. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. That way you'll be notified. Okay? Bye.